you guys, it's been so long. I've missed talking to you so much. I feel completely drained right now. I'm not even gonna lie, because I tried to film this video so many times, but my camera died, my phone ran out of storage, and it just kept not working out for me. I've been filming for like an hour now, but you know what? I was warned that this was going to happen, so we're just going to keep on rolling. My inspiration for this video is this beautiful wall because it's going to be taken away from me soon times. So I decided to make these videos, and this is about for with God all things are possible. Obviously, because it's inspired by the wall. And the other videos I was talking about God being the ultimate scientist, the first mathematician ever, and I will talk about those more in depth in future videos, but right now I think I want to do something like the original Young Saf Diaries videos, where I read to you a poem and then I talk to you about the vibe of the poem and why I wrote it. And so this is a combination of multiple poems together, but it's from the time period when I got really sick with my Crohn's disease. I'm very open about that, and you can see a previous video I have talking about running away from your feels, and I talk more about this time period in my life. But this poem is really dear to me, these collective poems, and I'll tell you more why after I read it. But it starts like this. Trapped in a cage in my own hell, none helped me get out. Stepped in the back, I saw light, it's where I lack. I found a fight, heard a ding, eat when it ring, made me sick. Get out your feelings. Got 99 reasons wanna know what's real. Trapped in my own feces. Now that's some grounding. Hop in the blue sea. Now you're drowning. Gotta control your breathing. Just breathe in. The mantra. Finally, this is what I need, this is what I breathe. Clarity, this is what you see. Is it what you believe? I had to scan, I had to look within. This the one, and I'll have fun, cause I learned I have won. I was screwed, but I changed the mood of my cat, and she mewed. See them come, drink their rum. I hope that I don't run. Yeah, this track, straight up facts. Do you hear it? I got the knack. This the one, weight off tons. Hope I put them back on. I'm renewed, strength I brewed. Integrate the lessons, dude. Think I cracked, I look back. I'm not mad, I did not lack. I'm not mad at being mad to the world. I think I'm rad. Started when I got zen. Near flat line, I saw my demons dance with death. My last breath, saw a ghost. I almost became Macbeth. Ooh, too real, can't conceal. But God's no fraud, got my shield. Back to heal, not quite healed, but I still post-blind got a deal. So, let's break this down. Trapped in a cage in my own hell. When I was a child, I always had this image constantly in my head of me tied and strapped down to a chair. And I just watched the world pass me by, and it kept changing. It was so fast, and I was just stuck there, and I couldn't break out, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help the people I wanted to help. I couldn't make the impact I wanted to make. I couldn't talk to anyone. The world was just passing and changing, and I was just there observing it all, not being a participant. And I say, none helped me out. Well, none helped me get out of the chair because everyone was just too busy in their own world. No one saw me even though I was in the middle of it all. No one saw me. And then the only thing that helped me was the light that I saw, and that light derived from where I lacked. That light derived from where I felt most vulnerable, and the most like my shadow side, the things that I don't like about myself, the things that it's hard for me to control, even when I'm in the moment, when I feel like I'm doing wrong, I feel like I'm making the wrong decisions, I feel like I'm acting out. I found a light in that place. I found a fight. I heard the ding. But the thing is about the fight with your psycho-cybernetic system is it really wants you to get back to the original place you're in. Now we can talk about psycho-cybernetics. Yay! Okay. So psycho-cybernetics is a system. It's your brain. And it's this book written by Dr. Maltz, and he talks about how we had a survival instinct. Basically, we had a list back in the day. Well, always, but back in the day, it was basically, find food, survive, find shelter. And those are basic needs. But since now we are filled with so much stimuli as children, these needs are altered. Our needs aren't to just be stable, to have food to eat, to support ourselves. It's these grand ideas, which aren't a bad thing, but it's these visions that we have for ourselves from random stimuli that didn't even come from ourselves. It came from the television, it came from the movies, it came from other people's opinions, other people's grand dreams, all these inputs and expectations that were put on you. Now our list is filled with all these things, and when we are children and we find out that we can't be all of those things at once because we are just one person, we start to get doubt, and we start to believe that doubt and believe that we really deserve the lives that we've created. We deserve not to be happy, right? Because why should I be happy if I'm not a millionaire? Why should I be happy if I'm not getting the proper food that I really, really think that I should be eating? All of these things. Well, like food is a basic survival skill, but what I mean by that is I want to eat luxuriously. I want to have all the things. I want to be able to get anything I want whenever I want it. Now, of course, we all want that to an extent. That would be so fun if we could just, have these superpowers like Phil of the future and just spray can a cupcake and be like, oh, now I have this cupcake, right? Instead of putting in the work. We really, really became afraid of work and are acting as if work isn't fun, growth isn't fun. That's not a part of our journey, right? But I'm getting a little bit off track here. So because we have these doubts in our head from when we were younger that literally sets us back, I have an example of this. I was in grade school, and because of how far everybody else, when we were doing track and field, long jumping, because of how far everybody else jumped, and because I didn't feel like I had jumped far enough and I got also insecure about myself, I was like, you know what? Let me step even further back so it looks like I didn't try. Instead of me being like, this is gonna fuel my fire, let me try even harder next year. I was like, let me step back so it looks like I didn't try, so that it looks like I don't care. Since I felt like I didn't deserve it. I felt like if everyone else can just naturally do these things, why should I try? Why should I even look like I'm tempting to try? And it sounds so ridiculous, but this is really how our brain kind of coals us. So that's what I'm talking about when I say, I heard it ding, eat when it rang, and it made me sick. Because I was fighting so hard to grow, but my brain was so fighting also to keep me back, out of protection, out of survival, out of necessity, right? Because of our evolution. But it's not as helpful anymore, right? My belief system was trying to evolve from where it was before. Consciously, I was trying to evolve my belief system, but subconsciously, my belief system was somewhere else. Get out your feelings, got 99 reasons when no one's feel trapped in my own feces. I've had literally like the most embarrassing situations happened to me in the past 4 years. Embarrassing to the point of like, wow, I can't do anything. I've never experienced this in my life before. Is this what being a Crohn's patient is? I don't like it. Embarrassing to the point of, how come I can't eat food? Everyone eats food. How come I can't do what we are naturally able to do? I can't drink water. It's actually embarrassing. I know it's hard. It's weird to think about because it's like, oh, like you're sick. That's embarrassing to not be healthy. It's so embarrassing because now you are here and healthy people are here. Even though you're like fighting so hard, and even though health-wise you might even be a little bit better than people, but because of this disability, it just brings you down. That sucks, man. Now that's some grounding, because you have to learn how to deal with that inside. Hop in the blue sea to cleanse yourself now of that feces you were trapped in, but now you're drowning. So, like the Wim Hof method, gotta control your breathing. This man's retinas literally froze over, and by learning how to breathe, he survived. He's so cool. So just breathe in the mantra. Finally, this is what I need. This is what I breathe. Clarity, this is what you see. Is it what you believe? Do you believe in clarity? What do you see in that image, in that mental movie in your mind? We talk about that in the Law of Attraction. A lot of people have read that book or watched that documentary. But it's really, really, truly touched on in psychocybernetics. Our beliefs come from our imagination. Albert Einstein said imagination is the start of genius. Is that the quote? I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put that Albert Einstein imagination quote right here because it's slipping my mind right now. But even this man, we as a society, we as a world has deemed as the most intelligent, maybe not the most intelligent, but one of our legends in the world, our forward thinkers, our pioneers, that one. He said that imagination is the most important thing. Wow. Doesn't that show you something? In fact, in psychocybernetics, he speaks on scientists who literally will work hard on something and then work to forget it, right? But you're imagining. Actually, I'm gonna take that back and I'm gonna edit that part out because again, we're going a little bit further than I want to go. But that mental movie, what you imagine, what you see yourself as is so important to changing that psychocybernetic system. It helps you because if you allow yourself to go back into that old mentality because it feels comforting, it will bring you even deeper into that place. And trust me, I've been through it. It's hard, honey. Okay? It's hard. Alright, so then I move on to this the one I'll have fun. So now I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's time to have fun. If that's what life brought to me, because that was just a moment in my life, right? After this point, now it's like, okay, the struggle happened. Everything happens in cycles. Until the struggle happens again, let's have fun. Yeah? I was screwed, changed the mood of my cat, and she mewed, okay? Okay? When people come around with their energy, I hope I don't run, but sometimes you gotta protect yourself, and sometimes running isn't the best. You have to really choose which avenue and see, is this person best for me right now? Okay, and then we go into just me again, bigging myself up, and then saying, I'm renewed, strength I brewed, integrate the lessons, dude. The lesson really has to become a part of the lifestyle. For me, I had to make it a part of my lifestyle. And I'm still working on that. It's still hard. But it's a daily practice for a reason. Once you get out of that daily practice, it's so funny how life just feels so different. Because you aren't in your routine. I think it was Steve Harvey who said he made it a routine to read the Bible every single day. And if he doesn't read the Bible, the day feels weird. Because now that's a part of his routine. What a good habit to have, he said, and I agree. Alright, so I think I cracked, I look back, I'm not mad, I did not lack. So I look back at that time when I felt like, I was mad. I felt like I was lacking, I literally didn't have my basic survival. But I didn't lack the whole time. I had a shelter over my head. I had a washroom easily accessible to me. I had my medicine that, at least it was there. At least I had food and water. Even though I was throwing it up, at least it was there. I wasn't lacking. I wasn't. It may seem because of circumstances that you're lacking, but it's really all perspective. And that's the only thing that can keep you sane sometimes. And there is no shame in that. It's life. And we have to all wake up to the reality of the fact that that's life. Because life isn't perfect. And I don't know who it was who tried to convince us that life was perfect. I don't know who it was who came out here and told humans, hey, your life, if it ain't perfect, then you're a failure. It was probably the devil, The devil feels that way himself. That's why he's telling everyone. He looks at humans and he's like, y'all are like me. God loves the devil too. But anyways, let's move on. So, I'm not mad at being mad. I'm not mad at the fact that I was mad. People who are mad and angry, the world can relate to them. And the world can relate to them because the world is mad right now. Have you seen our world? Have you seen how hurt we are? The only way that we can truly transform hurt is through love. Jesus was angry too. Do y'all remember when he tore up that church? Because they were gambling? Being angry is not a sin. It's what sparks change. We do need to be in control of it so that we don't get too outrageous. We do need to be within ourselves, and when we're acting out our rage, we're not acting out our rage. You know what I mean? We're acting out how we feel in order to make the best outcome. We felt this way, so now we're going to use that power to strategize the best outcome. When people get angry and they're just yelling, this is something I noticed. A lot of people don't realize they're not going to get anywhere by getting mad at somebody else. The only way to get through is to work with your fellow human. And sometimes that means outsmarting them with patience and calmness and diction. We have to learn how to communicate with each other. And that doesn't mean because you're treating someone else with dignity and respect that they're right. It just means that you acknowledge the fact that you can be just as wrong sometimes. So there's really no point in getting so mad at someone else for being wrong. Would you want someone else to react like that when you were wrong? I don't think so. Alright. Started when I got zen. Near flatline, I saw my demon. Alright. So, when I started to heal myself and heal my inner child, that's when I saw my demon, and when my demon became so powerful that I was like, wow, what? I can't control you. I could, but we were literally at face-to-face level, like speaking like this, like with my phone right here. Let's give an example. My phone's right here. I see something I don't like. I'm like, I I don't want to overreact to this. And they're like, overreact. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and that overreaction was just like, instead of being responsive, you're being reactive. And that was my demon, is just to, I'm a fire sign, so you know. Danced with death, my last breath, saw a ghost, almost became Macbeth. I told y'all I couldn't breathe. I felt my body dying. No one had to tell me I was sick. I knew I was sick. And I never thought my life would end up that way. You know, in psychology, we learn that people who live the lives they want to live, you know, live freely, you know, without regret, at the end of their lives, they're happier. If you keep decisions and you kind of suppress your life, at the end of your life, you're depressed. So I felt myself dying, and I was kind of in that place where I was like, I haven't done the thing I want to do yet. I'm 19 years old. I just started. What's happening? I thought I was getting myself together. Ooh, too real. I can't conceal. But God's no fraud, got my shield. My middle name is protected by God. Back to heal, not quite healed, but I still post-blind got a deal. Post-blind is a forced bet. It's in poker. You're forced to give like the big blind, right? So the deal, you have to do it. You gotta deal. The game goes on, right? You gotta play your cards. But at the end of that, you know, we learn, we grow, we become the people we want to be if we choose to be. And if you need help, one thing that God says is ask and you shall receive. Now let me go into my favorite girl, Amber Khan. She talks about the best restaurant in the world. And this concept, I don't think she ever directly said it, but I'm going to say it right now. The chef is God. And when you place the order, when you ask for what you want, sometimes you got to be patient because God is making you the best version of what you asked for. And if you go in there trying to give God the ingredients, like, hey, I want this ingredient in there too, I want this ingredient, God's like, okay, but that ingredient doesn't make what you asked for the best version of it. So I need you to get out of my kitchen and not have to clean down this kitchen again. So you are literally getting in the way of your own blessings and making the process longer. By not trusting, not having faith, and not having hope. But if you choose not to have hope, and if you choose not to be happy, and if you choose that, well, I'm sorry, my friend, there's nothing I can do for you. All the struggle that I went through in the past few years, it really will mean nothing to you. But for those of you who are willing to make that change in perspective, who sticked around and watched this whole thing, those of you who need that change of perspective, it's right there in front of you. For with God, all things are possible. And I promise you, you'll be okay. We'll be okay. We got this together, okay? Me and you. So I love you so much. Thanks for sticking around in this video and on this planet. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great day. royal marching out.